you.
Yeah, somebody's gonna be paying a fortune tonight.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He's going to drag this meeting out.
No, he's not. Do you have the automatic mute button, Rob? Or do we just use that on Dirt?
Just me.
I don't know.
Just me. Yeah.
This is the first time for me, so you'll probably want to leave the mute available.
Hey, Jack.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Everything getting back to normal?
Well, I went to the doc. He took out my staples on Monday. At 15 of them he pulled out of there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I'm
Okay.
moving a little bit. I had PT
Well,
today.
I'm sorry, Jack. Unfortunately, that was live. So,
All right. Don't worry about it.
okay, we are ready to go.
All right, well then let's call to order our redevelopment meeting for July 29th, 2020. Could I get a roll call, please?
Sure. Scott Hawkins,
I'm here.
Matt Owen, Jack Bissing.
Yep.
Jared Avery,
Present.
Mike Moore,
Here.
Teresa Perkins.
Here.
Looks like Matt's the only one out.
And he may be coming in. Who knows what's going on in the
Right.
world with that. Okay, can I get approval of the agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion in a second. And of course, we have to do all roll call again. So we'll start off with Dewart Avery,
Aye.
Jack Bissing,
Aye.
Mike Moore,
Yes.
and I'm a yes as well. All right, so then the next thing on the agenda, the approval of the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion in a second for approval of the minutes. Deward, what do you say?
Aye.
Jack?
Yep.
Mike?
Yes.
And that's a yes for me. Okay, now we got Heather Metcalf talking about the TIF claims. Go ahead, Heather.
Yes, the TIF claims tonight are $4,514,818.18.
Anybody got any questions for Heather?
Motion to approve.
Second that too.
All right, motion in a second. Deward, what do you say?
Aye.
Mr. Bissing?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
And that's a yes for me. Let's see.
We have operating claims too
Yes, ma'am.
for
Anybody got
$29,229.38.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Same second.
All right, motion in a second. Mr. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Bissing?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
And that's a yes for me.
Thank you.
Another 4-0, you bet. And let's see, Jorge, I think, is on here. Jorge, tell us about your report.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. The Holman's Lane project, the Veterans Parkway portion is done. The Holman's Lane portion is moving right along. They got the widening on the west side paved, and I wasn't able to get out there today, but they're getting ready to shift the traffic towards the west side so they can finish the east side of the road. The contractor saying they've submitted a schedule that they'd be done end of September, but we're thinking it'll be more like early November. And our inspection budget is running low. I'll check the numbers. We may have to request an increase in our budget to be able to complete the whole job. This job is just taking too long, so we'll be able to do that and request a budget increase next meeting if we need to. Any questions on that project? Okay, we'll proceed with a Gateway project. It's moving right along. The railroad crossings are done. The railroad's been a little slow in installing the drop gates and signals. There's a lot of construction going on out there. If you guys have seen it, the McDonald's is under construction. Our project for the CSO Interceptor Phase 2, which is a sewer board project, has started. And now under another project, I'll describe it, we're getting ready to start with a detention basin. But that's in another item here. The God Brass Parkway at Bridgestone, Bridgepoint Commons, phase 2. I think we're done with that. Only thing left is, I don't know if, Rob, if you've been able to select the option of how you're gonna pay for the lighting. So that's the only thing waiting on that project. Sir?
We're still looking at it.
Okay. And then on the 8th and Ohio drainage improvements, lots went on. We opened the bids earlier today. We got some great bids. The bids range from a low bidder, Clark Nichols Inc. of $1,872,960 to a high bid by Cleary Construction, who's doing another project for the sewer board. Their bid was $2,335,970. So the good news is that our budget for the work included in this contract was $2.2 million. And Heather, I know that I contacted you earlier to make sure that money, Vaughn and I had verified that budget was still good. So at this point in time, we have checked the bids, and we will recommend that the bid be awarded to Clark Nichols Inc. in the amount of $1,872,960 pending legal review.
I'll make a motion pending legal review.
Second.
Okay.
So
I'll
Who
second.
seconded that? Avery?
Yes.
Okay. Scott, do we want to take a?
Scott, you're on mute.
Scott, you're on mute.
How about now?
Okay. You want to do a vote call?
I
Yes,
think
please.
I'm going back to mute and
Teresa, why don't you do the roll call, please?
Okay, sure. We have Jack Vissing,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Scott,
yes.
and Deward.
Yes.
All right, 4-0.
So we will get this project moving as part of the work that we're going for the Redevelopment Commission. Now we'll go into the inspection portion, and we will present that also at the August meeting. So everything's moving right along with all the projects in the gateway, guys. And the Utica-Sellersburg Road, State Road 62 intersection improvements, we're just holding that pending funding. Maybe some of the money that we've saved in the gateway can be used to get that project going. But that's all I have. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Hey, I just want to say I'm just called in. I had some trouble getting in on the phone line, but Matt's here now.
All right, Matt, we just finished with Jorge's report, and we're just getting ready to move to new business if nobody had any questions for Jorge. All right, well then, let's see, new business. It looks like we got a couple certificates of completions, and I believe Alan Applegate is here. Alan, if you want to take it away.
Thank you. One of the certificate of completions, we determined doing a refinance for New Hope Services earlier this year. There was in connection with the contract for disposition of land all the way back in 1971, there was a urban renewal plan, and there's a clawback provision if the property wasn't developed the way that it, in accordance with the development plan. I don't know what happened back in 1971, but I believe that if there was going to be a clawback and the development plan not completed, then it would have been taken from the Andrigs. So both of these are curative matters that have been found during the course of refinances or acquisitions. But this is actually the New Hope's primary, their corporate offices. And the certificate of completion would merely say that that redevelopment plan was completed, and the redevelopment is not going to exercise its right of reversion into the property. I think last time I was at the redevelopment meeting, I've tendered these. These things filter in periodically as we're doing title. The other certificate of completion pertains to 425 West Maple, which I believe is somewhere behind the Town Place Suites or the new hotel, the Marriott. That is being sold by LifeSpring, and there was a 1970 disposition of land for private development agreement together with a redevelopment plan back in 1970, and apparently a certificate of completion was not obtained then. I think it's raw ground at this point, but Southeastern Indiana Title Company found that in connection with doing a closing and asked that I present it tonight.
I've got a question. I guess this would go to Les and Alan. Is there pending litigation right now with New Hope?
Yes.
Yes.
Les,
that doesn't affect this. This is cleaning up the title that we probably should have done years ago when the urban renewal concluded.
Okay, I find
things were done very differently back during redevelopment under urban renewal.
Okay. All right. So do we need a motion here for approval of both of these? One of these, Les, do you see a trouble with doing both at the same time?
I don't have a problem with you doing both at the same time, unless Alan does.
I would, Alan, unless you have a problem, I will make a motion to approve both of these certifications of completion. That's my motion.
Second.
There's a motion and a second, so let's take a vote. Mr. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Bissing?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
And that is a yes for me. So another 4-0. Thank you, Mr. Applegate.
See, that wasn't too long.
Yeah, Alan, you still cost me money.
I do the best. I do the best that I can.
Jack,
Thank you
Jack,
all.
I just like to say, Jack, for you being a member of this board, I appreciate you working for free.
Hey, just to clarify, Scott, you get to ask me for my vote now.
Yeah.
I'll vote the affirmative, though.
Well, my apologies. My apologies. So we'll throw Matt in there.
Getting the little guy.
Well, you know, when you come in late, you never know what you're going to get, but I'll get you. Let's show that Matt voted yes as well. My apologies, sir. All right, so then looks like we got new business number 2, and Les Murphy, why don't you explain this one to us?
Yeah, what you have in front of you is an amendment to our agreement with the school corporation in reference to the old auto auction facility, which is now the Fetter Center on 10th Street. Our existing agreement with the school corporation does not allow for any buses to be housed or parked there, but we have reached an agreement to amend that agreement to allow up to 35 school buses to be parked there while they're renovating or building a new transportation center at the existing spot off 10th Street down off Bryan Avenue. But this would only go through December 1st. So after December 1st, no buses would be allowed at the old Fetter Center. If you go to 5D, section 5D of the agreement, those are basically, that paragraph outlines what we're changing. And the parameters of the agreement is that those buses must use 10th Street, the 10th Street entrance when coming and going in the morning. There will be no assistance from the police department when they're doing that. And the buses shall not turn west onto 10th Street, and also they will park in the easterly westerly direction there to avoid the headlights for the folks who live off Plank Road. And again, this would end December 1st, so it is an amendment, but it's only a temporary arrangement. And it's the city council approved this at its last meeting, since it involves the city council as well. What we would do if you're in agreement with this, you do not have it with you, but it's just a resolution that approves the amendment. I'm not sure which resolution we're on. Teresa, do you know which number we're on?
I believe it's 5, but I'm not completely sure.
Okay.
Jonna was working on it when I left.
All right. Well, we'll fill that in on the minutes. So it would just be approving a resolution, approving the amendment to the existing agreement.
I'll make a motion.
I've got last night, the school board, passed this pending pending the approval of redevelopment.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second, but I think that was Jack.
This is Matt.
Oh, Matt, sorry. And let's run down the list. Mr. Avery,
Yes.
Mr. Vissing,
Yes.
Mr. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Owen.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm going to abstain from this, Teresa. There was a question on whether or not during the city council meeting, they are my employer and they're the ones petitioning. So since it's going to pass anyway, I'm just going to abstain and let it ride forward enough.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay. Let's see. What do we got next? We are to questions. Is there anything else? Anything else to that? That's over with. So questions for the executive director. Anybody got anything? Or Rob, do you have anything?
Does anybody have anything?
What's going on, Jeff Boat?
Jack.
Well, they're still in the process of
I will say I've had a conversation with some personnel. There may be a shift in the attitude that we've, for the last several months, seemed to be moving nowhere. I certainly don't want to give anybody the hope there's been any breakthrough, but Rob and I have continued to reach out to them, and there may be some new people coming in to be involved, and I can't say too much, but it's better than it was a month ago.
Okay, good.
And Jack, I appreciate you bringing it up at the meetings, but at some point, the public meetings make it more difficult for us to discuss and negotiate with Jeff Bowe because they're a private company and they don't want things out there in a public meeting right now.
Understood.
Okay. Anybody else? Well, then let's hear from board comments. Deward, what you got?
I'm very proud of the city of Jeffersonville. I think just keep it going the way it is.
Well, thank you, sir. Mr. Vissing?
Looking good.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Thanks, Mr. Moore.
We had first day of school today. I'm sure Teresa's going to talk about that here shortly, but had the opportunity to be down at Franklin Square Elementary this morning when the kids came in for the first day. Of course, that's the new elementary school in downtown. It was very emotional. You saw probably 150 kids that previously went to Maple and probably 130 kids that previously went to Spring Hill. Many of them had never met. They came together and have created Franklin Elementary now. Going to be a lot of new friendships made there, but I know the school system has been working on the drop-off of students and the school buses. That went very well today. There are a couple of things we're working on to make that even better. But it was just, don't get me wrong. I know there's a virus going on and there's plenty of precautions. You'll see plenty of photographs on Facebook with me and others wearing masks. But I thought it was a big step today. We certainly aren't where we would say things are normal, but 70% of the parents of kids or parents that have kids at Greater Clark said they wanted their kids to go back to school. And politicians don't always have the answers, I'm glad to see that the parents were the ones that played a key role in this happening. And if you were a parent who were not happy with this, your child can stay at home and study from home. But I'll tell you, this downtown elementary school is an enormous shot in the arm for our continued growth in downtown. Everything we're doing as a board to bring businesses and revitalize new old buildings and bring families downtown, that elementary school was crucial for us. And Teresa Perkins, I just want to say, as a school board member representing Greater Clark on this board, thank you for all the efforts that you put in and the support you gave for this downtown elementary. There were some people that were opposed to it. I respect their opinion, but I saw 300 happy kids this morning, and that's a good feeling, and it's a beautiful school. So day one, we'll jump some more hurdles as they come along with the virus, but it was good to see things get back on track. And just one other note, McDonald's breaking ground in downtown. I love it. I've had people last several years ask me many times, when is McDonald's going to come back to downtown? So that's going to be a really nice project for the gateway there as you come in off 10th Street. I saw in the paper, I think this morning, 200 McDonald's nationwide are being closed. Obviously, Jeffersonville's a little different than the rest of the country. We're moving up while others are kind of taking a step back. But Starbucks, Jimmy John's, and McDonald's, don't take those names for granted. Those are worldwide names, and when they want to call Jeffersonville home, that's a big deal. That's all I got. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Owen?
Yeah, I just wanted to echo some of the things the mayor said in relation to Greater Clark schools. Few people have had this COVID virus as a part of their daily life as much as I have working in healthcare, and having a little one who is taking advantage of the all-day preschool at Riverside for the first time, seeing the steps and measures that they've taken there firsthand, it's absolutely phenomenal. The staff there is doing a great job. You can tell that they've had a lot of support from their administration. And for anybody, like the mayor said, for anybody who isn't comfortable with that, they've allowed for those options and flexibility. And I think that's a huge deal. And you guys definitely deserve a pat on the back for that, because I know that none of this there is no manual of how to deal with a global pandemic. And nobody understands that quite like I do, I think, because that's been my entire job for the last 4 months. So thank you, Teresa. Please pass along our thanks to your board and your administration. That's all.
All right, thanks, Matt. And Teresa, you want to go ahead and chime in?
Well, I feel like the queen or something now. Thank you for those kind words. I do appreciate it. It's been a very difficult project to get completed and get started. And without the assistance of the city and the mayor, I know we couldn't have got those signatures. Franklin Square is very unique in that it is the meshing of two school populations, but we're also the only in Clark County that's going to have the STEAM curriculum, and also have a great partnership with our arts group in downtown Jeff, which I expect is going to do great things. And I would like to ask Pro Media, if they're listening, I want a picture of I want video of our mayor going down that slide.
Oh, it's on Facebook. Go to the Jeffersonville Facebook page.
You went down the slide?
I went down the slide and nailed it, Teresa. Did a perfect landing. And I got to tell you, I bet I was going 20 miles an hour.
You
when I
nailed
came
it,
down there.
Lance. All right.
You get 215
We
pounds
had
going
one board
downhill.
member-
It picks up some speed pretty quick.
Yeah, we had one board at the ribbon cutting Monday. We had like 3 board members and our superintendent go down. And one of our board members, she screamed the whole way. So I know
prayed.
that it's going to be fun for kids.
All right. Yep. Okay. All right. And then for me, I echo the same sentiments that have always been commented on. I know Mark Loeffner. This is not probably the superintendent of Greater Clark. This isn't probably the what he envisioned doing when he took the job just not too long ago. And there's no right answer. And I think of him often when I see people complaining this way or that way. But he's doing the best with what he's got, and I just wanted to give a shout out to him as well, Teresa, if you could pass that along, and all the board members, of course.
I will. Thank you.
Okay. Yep, and that's it. And with that, we have our next meeting on August 26th, 2020, and I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make it.
So move.
There it is. Rock and roll. See you guys later. Stay safe.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.